Ben Handler here, founder of the Buyer's Agent Institute. I'm going to break down what is the value that buyer's agents provide. I believe this is also very subjective as a question, because if you are looking to engage a buyer's agent, you may, for example, just be time poor. And so you want your time back, and that may be your value, that you get your time back. So during the week and after hours and on the weekend, you have your time back. So that's valuable to you. Someone else, for example, they may have missed out on 4 properties, spent money on due diligence, reviewing contracts, and if it's strata, doing strata reports, or if it's a non-strata, they're doing building and pest inspections and spending money on reports and all this time and emotion. And so to avoid missing out on their next property and to maximize their chances of success, they may engage a buyer's agent. So that's value to them, right? Some people, they may have never bought property before. They could be a first home buyer. And so having someone hold their hand to make sure they are set up for success is value to them. And there may be someone else who doesn't necessarily want to get a bargain. They just want to buy the right property at the right price. It's more about the property, finding that ideal property for them. Whether it's to move into or it's for investment, they just want to find the right property. So that may be value to them, making sure that their access to stock is as tight as it could be and dialed in as possible to maximize their chances of success to buy the right property at the right price. So everyone's going to come to the table with different needs and wants, right? Everyone is going to, have something unique to them, which quantifies value. However, there's going to be people as well who don't see value in the service. For example, they're very comfortable doing it themselves, or they have bought a lot of property before, like a lot, and they don't feel like they need help. Or a property does get presented to them, like their next door neighbor goes, hey, I'm looking to sell, and it's a clean deal that can be done, and so they feel like that's easy. So there's going to be people as well who don't see value, and that's typically very okay. The buyer's agent service is not for everyone. It's not for everyone, this service. People typically need to be experiencing some form of problem. They need to have an issue. They need to want a solution to that problem. And typically when you want a solution to a problem, you then see value. But if you don't have a problem and there's no solution to be provided, why would you see any value? So if you're watching this now and you've been struggling to buy property, or it's been frustrating, or you would like more assistance to help you execute and get a better outcome for whatever the situation you're facing is, then maybe it could be an opportunity to speak to a buyer's agent to understand their process, their strategy, what they're doing that's different to you. Because when you are on the ground as a buyer's agent, speaking to hundreds of agents, inspecting hundreds of properties, you're negotiating constantly and you live and breathe buying property, one could imagine that your chances of success and adding value is going to be substantial compared to the everyday buyer who's just doing what every other buyer does, which is waits for a property to come on Real Estate and Domain and then messages or calls the agent, turns up and then is competing against 20 or 30 buyers. I used to always like to ask potential clients of mine a scenario. And this scenario is if hypothetically 10 Smith Street came on the market on real estate and you turned up, and let's say there was 20 buyers and maybe there was 8 contracts out, so there was 8 potential interested parties. What are you going to do differently to buy the property? Run me through your tactics. What is your strategy to execute to buy this property? That's going to be different to these 8 other buyers. A lot of the time, people don't really have a strategy and don't know how to execute. They just follow the real estate agent's instructions, when the real estate agent again works for the vendor. So personally, I feel there's a lot of value that buyer's agents can provide. Hope you found today useful. See you next time.